The little girl who learned to survive, Amanda Giddy. Once upon a time, in a small, crowded neighborhood, where the buildings leaned close like they were sharing secrets, lived a little girl named Amina. Amina wasn't the loudest child in her class. She wasn't the one who always raised her hand or ran first in games. Most days, she moved quietly through the world, carrying more inside her than anyone could see. At home, things were not always gentle. Some days were loud with arguments. Some days were silent in a way that felt heavier than noise. Amina learned early how to read a room before she walked into it, listening for footsteps, voices, even the way doors closed. She didn't know it then, but she was learning something powerful. She was learning how to survive. At school, Amina smiled when she needed to. She laughed when others laughed. But inside, she kept a small world of her own, where she imagined safety felt like warm sunlight and soft blankets, where nobody yelled, where she could just breathe without worry. Her teacher, Miss Carter, noticed her one day sitting alone during recess, drawing circles in the dirt. "You okay over there, sweetheart?" she asked gently. Amina nodded quickly. "I'm fine." But Miss Carter didn't walk away right away. She sat beside her on the bench instead. "You know," Miss Carter said, "sometimes strong people look very quiet on the outside." Amina didn't respond, but she listened. Days passed, then weeks, and slowly something small began to change. One afternoon, Amina forgot to shrink herself. She laughed a little louder at a joke in class. Another day, she joined the group playing jump rope, even though her heart was racing. She started keeping her drawings, not just circles anymore, but pictures of houses with flowers, children holding hands, and skies with no storms. Miss Carter gave her a notebook. "For your thoughts," she said, "wherever you need to put down, this is yours." That notebook became Amina's quiet place to breathe. At home, life didn't magically change overnight. Some days were still hard, but Amina began to change inside herself. She learned something new. Not just how to survive, but how to hold on to herself while surviving. One evening, she wrote in her notebook, "I used to think surviving meant staying quiet and small. Now I think it means staying alive and still finding pieces of me." Years passed. Amina grew up, but she never forgot the little girl she used to be. She carried her gently, like someone holding a fragile but precious light. And one day, Amina told her story, not to relieve the pain, but to show what came after it. Not just survival, but strength. Not just endurance, but healing. Because the little girl who learned to survive also learned how to live.